Well, okay. It would appear that I have things working. I mean, you can see my new microphone here. Okay, all right, that's working pretty good. Um, I just dropping this in to let you know that, of course, I'll be live tonight. You know, um, my blog this week was about the line from the Godfather movie where Pacino says, "Just when I think I'm out, they draw me back in." That's pretty much what's going on with me. I thought I was pretty much done having to rant and rave about Trump and whatnot, and it appears that I'm not done ranting and raving about Trump, the most dangerous human being on the planet right now. I don't know how you feel about it. Feel free to let me know. You can read my blog at floundersgreatadventure.com. You can check me out on Twitter at Jeffrey Bruff. You can check me out here on YouTube with tonight at 8 o'clock Eastern Daylight Savings Time for my live with live video. I don't know how much different it'll be from this one. Of course, with my memory, I'll probably have a whole new title by tonight. There's two very serious issues here. One is the threat to democracy by Donald Trump and his minions, and the other is the gun violence that's all of a sudden going on. Not all of a sudden, but that's increasing dramatically. Um, you know, People want to stop gun sales. That's okay. I can deal with that. You'd have to put certain caveats in there for certain handguns and whatnot, so that people can buy protection for themselves and what have you. But automatic weapon sales should be, and semi-automatic rifles and shotguns should be gone. They don't need them. I mean, if you're any kind of a hunter and you need to take a 20-round magazine into the woods with you, there's something wrong with you. I've never carried 20 rounds of anything, you know. Only when I was in the military, and when you fire a gun off that's shooting at 700 rounds per second, you need that kind of stuff. Anyhow, the deal though is that the guns that are out there, and there's I forgot the figure of the registered weapons that are out there, but let's say I'd say that there's at least twice as many unregistered weapons out there. Now, what do you do about them? How do you get them off the street? You can't go to people's houses and take the registered weapons away from them, not unless you really want to see civil war. Because I know if you try to take something that's mine away from me, it's not going to work well. I'm not going to, I may not shoot you, but I may beat you over the head with it or something, and you're going to have to lock me up. And then, you're going to be in court battling over my rights to own that weapon, because it's a constitutional right to own a gun. So long as I meet the specifics of the law. And actually, technically speaking, I shouldn't have to meet any specifics of the local authorities. I should just, be allowed to carry a gun. Now, I'm not a gun nut. I don't want to own a gun. I don't think people should own these automatic weapons and whatnot they have. I think that's just ridiculous. All right, I think that you can't blame cartoons and movies for all these mass shootings. There's something wrong with the ability to reason in these people. The only way they're so frustrated, could be with police, could be with each other, that they can't deal with it. They can't deal with the normal discourse to solve a problem. They have to go in and shoot people, and they're mentally unhinged to some degree. I'm sure some of them, not all of them. I don't want to classify everybody as a nut job. That's not. That really doesn't solve anything, They could turn around and call me a nut job, so that's the same thing, I don't know what to do there. It's kind of it's a very complicated issue. It's not as simple as people like to make it out. People like to make all issues very simple, But they're not, because you got to take other people into consideration when you're dealing with things like this. You know, not every bad person out there is, owns a gun, and not every good person out there owns a gun. And the good people that do own guns shouldn't have to be penalized for the bad ones that do or don't own guns. Oh, excuse me. I got up way too early this morning. Um, the one thing that's just an issue that we could go on and on and on about it for hours and hours, and I don't know whether it would solve anything, right? The other issue is that the loss of democracy, in which case you may need those guns, or whatever, or you may lose them. Uh, People say you can't lose democracy. Well, yes, you can. Democratic regimes have been overthrown by the military all over the world, constantly. Myanmar is the last one I remember. They were a democratic regime. I don't know how long they lasted, but they were thrown out by the military because people get greedy, and when the democratic regimes don't make people rich, as a rule. Of course, ours does, but as a rule, they don't. You have. If you want to see what the possibilities are out there, take a look at Venezuela and Cuba, where popular revolutions to restore human rights and everything did nothing to that fact. They did not restore human rights. Did they get equalized pay? No. A certain percentage of people, or in the case of Venezuela, I believe it was I'm going to say indigenous people got homes built for them and whatnot by Chavez, and they support his political party no matter what. Okay, no matter what, they support the party, not the bus driver that's leading the country, the party. In the meantime, the rest of the country is starving. The rich people are upset because they're not getting any money anymore. They can't cheat, they can't lie, they can't steal from you because there's no money out there to be made. So the criminals are the ones that are making the money now. When I say criminals, I mean real criminals, not the political criminals that we all know and love, but the real criminals that are out there. They go around and put guns in people's faces and whatnot. They're the ones that are making the money right now, not anybody else. And there's solutions to this. I mean, in the United States, there's solutions to this. We have a government in place that can and should be working to heal some of the problems that are there. But again, you have greedy people. They want these deals. And then you have people that are afraid of losing their jobs, afraid of losing power. And some of them are crazy. I mean, you got Gates, is that how he pronounces it? Or Getz? I'm not sure how he pronounces his last name. Who's running a porno ring? He's a Republican that's running a human trafficking ring and porn ring, whereas he has accused the Democrats of doing the same thing. Then you have a Marjorie Greene, who's I think there's something actually wrong with her. She believes anything anybody tells her. She's out there spouting all these untruths and whatnot, and won't accept the truth. She's a cult follower. That makes her easy target. You can do just about anything to her, and she'll keep on going. Trump. Then you have Donald Trump. Donald Trump is the leader of the pack, sort of. He started all this up. Let's make America great again. What was wrong with America so bad? Oh yeah, now we have racism out front. That's making America great. America's at its most vulnerable point right now, thanks to him and his way he treated the pandemic, and the way he has set the people against each other with his racist comments and whatnot. There is a man that if ever I saw a man that I have to put this in a way so I don't get in a lot of trouble, but should be in jail, locked up, bent over his bunk and getting it in the ass, if you really want to, That's Donald Trump is just pure, unadulterated scum. And you can, I guess I can say that about him. He's not president of the United States anymore. And I'm too old to worry about it anymore. Um, his economic views are not good for the country. They're good for a part of the country. This deal, this Reaganomics, this trickle down economy that everybody talks that Reagan talked about, where the rich people will make more money and therefore it will trickle down to, it will trickle only so far. It may trickle down as far as what they used to call the middle class, but it's not going to go trickling down too much further than that. First of all, you can't play games with the taxes that these other people play. Second of all, you don't have access to money to make money. They have the money to make money. You don't have the money to make money. This what they call a financial disparity in this country it's reached a point that it's unbelievable. All right, if you want to see what happens when you take a look at the French Revolution was based on a financial disparity. Royalties walking around and people in the meantime, and people can't get bread. And Marie Antoinette's famous line, "Let them eat cake," was pretty much what got her beheaded. You know, I don't know how it was. If it was taken out of context, I don't know anything. About that. I don't. I really haven't, studied that particular situation in depth. But I do know that disparity here is that it's like. What the hell was it? I think it's less than 14% of the people control 99. Less than 10% of the people control 99% of the money in this country. Now that's financial disparity, okay? In the past, they have done things to let that wealth trickle down slightly to people, But you have to, the American people, somebody gives you $5 more in your paycheck a week, and people go nuts. They think this is great. But if they give you 10 cents more an hour, wow, that's good, that's great. Nah, it's roughly $40 a week. And if anytime they raise the wages, it gets wiped out by increases in taxes, food prices, gasoline prices. Now, what good? Like, look at this now. What good is $15 an hour now with $3 and $4 a gallon gasoline, and everything else going up because of shortages and whatnot brought about by the pandemic? So there's no easy way to do this. That disparity in wealth is going to stay there until forever. I mean, that even if you had a revolution tomorrow, all that would happen is that disparity would change hands. And those rich people have a way of buying into even the revolutionary governments. If you take a real close look at Venezuela, even Cuba, you'll understand that there is an elite in there. Okay, they're buying themselves positions because they can either give the government money to buy guns or whatever. There's an elitist position being held there, so that's revolutions to distribute wealth don't usually work out the way they're supposed to. It does get distributed, but basically what you're saying, it gets redistributed. So you have a new set of elites being formed. All right. If you look at Venezuela, the Chavez's daughter is in New York City living. She was appointed to some sort of embassy position, so she has diplomatic immunity. Turned into a party girl for a while, but it's rumored that her bank account, which I forget where it is. It's not. I know it's not there. Not taxable, just island type bank account is worth over $1 billion. That money could be used for a lot of things inside the country. All right. It's rumored also that, and this I have no idea where this rumor would come from, is that Maduro's got gold stored someplace. I doubt that could be really true because I think the organized crime, the FARC, whatever, would go be looking for it, be tearing the countryside up like they did when Escobar died, looking for his wealth. I just think that's pretty much of a given deal there. I don't know how you can expect anything else. Uh, but that's what I'm saying. Is a redistribution of wealth doesn't go to the people that need it all the time. Poor people stay poor people. Some reasons are they're that uneducated they can't advance themselves. Other reasons are that the rich people need people to clean their pools. And I'm sorry that sounds harsh, but that's the way life is. They're not going to give up their money. They're not. The truly rich don't have the money in their country. I mean, nobody can really tell you how much money Donald Trump has because nobody knows where it is. They say it's in real estate. Is it in real estate or is it hidden on real estate? Nobody knows. I don't know whether his bills are being paid or not. I'm not privy to that information. I don't know who's privy to that information. I do know that he's sucking the country dry. He's taking money from people who can't afford to give it to him, and plus the rich people. He's getting it from the rich people too, because he gave him a tax break, and that tax break's going into what they call a super PAC. And what I didn't realize until he got out of office, that he's able to take that super PAC money and use it for whatever he wants. It's like a GoFundMe thing, Here, have some money. I can do whatever I want with it. I don't have to tell you what I'm doing with it. I don't have to use it to promote my run for presidency. I can do it to pay down my debt. I can do it to pay my legal fees. That's kind of weird. I wouldn't give money to him for that. Even if I liked the guy, I wouldn't give money to one of those things. That's just stupidity. To give money like that to people, especially somebody like him, but anybody, I wouldn't give it for Biden, or I wouldn't do it for my wife. I wouldn't do it for anybody, that's dumb, and yet people are doing it. They're giving him millions of dollars. It's the same thing with what's his name, Marjorie Greene. She's the same thing. People are contributing to her because they believe her. Okay, they believe the same lies that she believes, and I can't even call them lies anymore. I would say she believes the same fairy tale, that she believes in these fairy tales that are coming out, these stories, these alternative explanations for the facts, however you want to qualify it. She believes in that crap, and that's a dangerous situation. Because there's a lot of people out there that do. There's pastors preaching that the 20 election didn't happen, that it was stolen. Look, I know that so far as I've seen, the only irregularities that they found have been on the Republican side. I mean, if you go in there and you look strictly for the Democratic miscalculations, mistakes, whatever, fraud, you could probably find it. I mean, you would have to look hard and long. But the deal is that there's probably for every, there's probably another one on the other side. I mean, that's politics, That's the way it's not an honest profession. It's not, you don't go into politics and stay an honest person. You have to make deals with the devil. That's what, but the politicians like McCarthy and Mitch the Bitch and whatnot are taking that, making a deal with the devil way too far. They're buying into out and out lies. They're making statements. One McCarthy made a statement at I don't know exact date, but it was 2 or 3 days, or it might have been that night or something, but 2 or 3 days after or 2 or 3 weeks, whatever, after the insurrection of January 6th, and said that Trump had to assume responsibility for it. He now says he never said it. He now says that it's a lie, that Trump is innocent on all counts of everything, and Trump wasn't innocent the day he was born. I mean, this guy that's just the way he is. He gets by using people. using their energy, uh, using their belief. Most of all, usually this is their money more than anything else. That's how he's gotten by. That's how he's maintained the lifestyle that he has. That's how his investments aren't that great. Um, he's in my home state. Not my home. Well, basically my home state. I was born in New York City. Doesn't make any difference. But he's living in down in Bedminster, New Jersey right now, and I know I know exactly where he is. I've driven by it many times, and if I drove by it today, I'd get in trouble because I'd moon him. Because I said this a while ago. I think when he first got elected president. I don't think I ever put a video out where I said it, and I probably wrote it down someplace. I cannot meet this man in public or private for the simple reason that if I do, I don't know whether I'd be able to keep from punching him in the face because of what he's trying to do to this country. He's made us the most vulnerable. Any president that sits there and says and watches the people in uniform and sitting in front of a dictator and says, "Look at how those people sit. They respect that man." They don't respect that man. They fear that man. That's the one thing Trump is never going to get. I don't understand how he gets people to do what he does, because the one thing you should never be is afraid of that fat prick. All right, hey, listen, I got to run. It's time for Chicago Fire down here anyhow. So I'm going to say adios, and I will talk to you later.